What blessed me most about Worship Space was the freedom to worship and the intimacy.
The atmosphere felt so pure and genuine, spirit-led, and this made it easy for me especially to lean in and be myself, to listen and respond. I also loved the strong sense of unity that was in the room. It felt like we were truly journeying together, not just attending and meeting, which was wonderful.
We had a great time, really did. I wasn't expecting that, but it was just such, not expecting not to have a good time, but it was just so full of joy. And yeah, I felt so much peace, and the girls felt so much peace.
I felt rest, if you get my drift, in the best possible way. God really met me at the point of my need, and it felt like I went away for a weekend for a Christian retreat. It was just such a beautiful time in His presence.
But for me, what I got on that day was a rhema word that I could carry with me beyond the 14th of December. And that came from the scripture that was read on that day, and it was Psalm 84, verse 6, and it talks about strength. People who trust in God or hope in God, they move from strength to strength. And also, what happens is when they go through the valley of Baca, which is often known as the dry place, when people go through those dry places, they dig deep to find a pleasant pool where others find only pain. There is something about people whose eyes are set on God, that even when they're going through hard times, they are digging deep. And it is God that gives to them a brook of blessing, filled from the rain of an outpouring. And that day was an outpouring. And I know that that day was a day where I received rain and outpouring from God that I have been able to continually reflect back on and pull and draw from that well rivers that really have sustained me in those places where I've gone through dark places in the last few months. So I'm really grateful to God for that season, for that day, for that time of prayer and preparation, because I received a rhema word, and I'm so grateful to God for it.
It's been a very enjoyable experience for me. It's something that I look forward to now, knowing it's in the calendar. We get an opportunity to come out. It's quite spontaneous, and we allow for the spontaneity, but also we do know there's some structured songs that we can sing and really express ourselves to the Lord. And it's been a great time of refreshing, a great time of fellowship, and a great session in total. So.
Worship Space on December the 14th last year was everything we prayed for. A time, a place, a space for everyone to bring their worship individually, collectively, creatively to the audience of one, and that's Jesus. I particularly loved the focus on the worship of Jesus, where we reflected on who He is, but also we thanked Him for what He has done. Secondly, there was the freedom of expression, and here we saw different people doing different things as they encountered God. There were people sitting down as we worshipped. There were people standing up in the presence of God. There were people kneeling down as they worshipped God. And there were people who just sat silently as they encountered God in those moments. That freedom of expression was evident. Thirdly, the feel of family and community, where everybody in the room just were themselves. They didn't have to be somebody else. They just expressed themselves in that place of feeling free, because everybody around felt like family. And as a result of that family feel, creativity flowed and different songs were sung to the Lord. Finally, the fortitude of God's presence was so evident. This led to us wanting to stay in God's presence even longer than the allocated time that we had. Although we had to stop at some point, it just felt like we wanted to carry on and on and on. And just like the psalmist in Psalm 84 says, better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. It felt like we just wanted to stay in that place because God's presence was so evident. I'm totally grateful to God for what He did on that day, and I look forward to the future events that we do.
We have come to be with our Maker, and He is saying that I am ready to pour myself out on you. I am ready to pour myself out on you. And so we have come to worship Him. We call this a worship space, and He is magnified and He is lifted. Lord, your presence will be here. Your presence is here. Bring your burdens to the cross. Bring your burdens to the cross. And divine exchange. Bring your burdens to the cross.